This is syllabus talk for Chemistry 162 Lab, Fall 2026 at Windward Community College. This voice is belonged by the instructor for the class, Mike Ferguson. Welcome to the class. So this is one of several videos I'm making to introduce the class. I'll have a welcome video introducing myself and other videos coming up. So I'm following a syllabus template that was sent to me. So if you see all this stuff, I was forced to, well, I guess I wasn't forced, but I was heavily suggested to put this in here. Not that this is not important, but if you're wondering why the mission statement is here in front and forefront. So the instructions here were to introduce myself. I have a video also introducing myself, but I kind of put my educational background and just my teaching philosophy. I'm the guide on the side, kind of thing, coaching kind of way of doing things. So I do that with you here on this online class. So this is me. This is how I get a hold of me. There's my office hours, and the Tuesday, Wednesday from 9 to 11:30. And if you're now kind of office hours, the easiest way to contact me is via email. If I'm during the workday and I'm on the computer, I will respond very quickly. If I'm out and about, like say you email me and I notice the email and I'm like at the grocery store or something like that, then I'll probably send you a quick reply if it's something that's easy. If I'm really quick, it means it means I'm like at the grocery store or something like that. That I'm not in front of my computer and I don't have a very drawn out and flowery response. So the less flowery I am, it's probably because I'm on a cell phone. And I'll respond within a business day. But I am a biological intelligence, much like yourself. At least I hope you're a biological intelligence. I mean, that'll be the day when I start getting bots and AI taking my class. And if you are my AI overlord, I bow down to you humbly, of course. I also bow down to my biological intelligences as well, because you are very important people. But as biological intelligence, I have certain limitations. Things like I like to sleep at night, for instance, and I also like to have fun. Like I might spend a weekend and do something else. But in general, I'll respond quickly. And this is saying that Lamaku email is better than Gmail. Lamaku, of course, is our learning management system. It's it's Brightspace is the parent company that's kind of finagled by the university to make Lamaku, and it's kind of about a 4 out of 10. Like Sakai Laulima, if you remember that's kind of like a 1 out of 10, and then there's Canvas, which is like an 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. We decided not to go with Canvas. There's certain features. If you've had Canvas in the past, I can't link specific assignments into this. I just have to link to the external tool, for instance. So there are some limitations, and like I said, with versus Canvas. But it's what the Regents of the University of Hawaii has decided to do. And we is an async online class, 16-week course, and we're doing some regular substantive interaction. So announcements. There'll be minimum of 2 announcements a week. One, I tell you the due dates. The other one, it's like I'm trying to start a discussion with something, usually a science topic, usually something that has to do with chemistry, because it's a chemistry class, and it's usually something that from the American Chemical Society. And this is the equivalent of a classroom discussion, although teaching labs in class, we usually don't have entire classroom discussion. Typically, it's usually chitter-chatter amongst lab partners, and it's not always about chemistry. But this is what we have here. We're gonna have stuff where I bring up a topic. Over the summer, I did one on a pink planet because there was salt in the clouds. It made it look pink. So I'll put out an article and I'll give you a video on that. And then if you want to join the conversation, you can on that. But that's like for classroom, for student interactions. For me, you get the besides that, me telling you about the cool thing and also remind you of the due dates. You also get the feedback from lab reports. So with LabFlow, you'll get immediate feedback with the quizzes. Lab reports, so when they're due, I'll grade them in batches, and you'll get the feedback then. So, and when students aren't doing as well, like if I notice performance going down, I check in with these students. So that's the other thing, and students that do really well, I congratulate them. So, and okay, and I have to verify participation. So for this class, you have to sign up for LabFlow. That's the primary thing there. It's just so that we get students that are actually interested in taking the class. So what is this? This is the companion class for Chem 162. So this is a lab class, and it's basically doing some laboratory techniques. I have a very strong opinion about online labs. I think they're amazing. Some students really like the face-to-face labs, and that's great that you like that. I personally think, the number of students, like 1/4 of all college students attempt general chemistry in their careers, and about 30% of people go to university right now, college university. So that means that on the order of about 1 out of every 12 people we're teaching the population, at least here in the United States, on general chemistry lab. And do we need to teach 1/12 of the population how to handle glassware? Is the skill of putting a test tube into a Bunsen burner necessary? In my opinion, it's not. And I think it's like, well, people write apps for cell phones. Do they have to know how a typewriter works, kind of thing? So the way that we teach chemistry hasn't changed significantly since, at least in content and methodology, hasn't changed that much since 1960. And for these simulated labs, I think this is our new way of doing things. And I get into arguments with people all the time. I think this is a better way to do it, personally. So I think hopefully you feel the same way. And if you don't feel the same way and you want to get into a lab class, we can, let me know, and I can help you find a lab class to do this in person. But I think chemistry lab skills, it's going to become, in my opinion, it's going to become like a junior level chemistry lab class or other science class that students that actually want to do this can do that. I myself, I have a PhD in chemistry, and I rarely use my lab chemical skills. I use it when I teach chemistry, and also I think I use it quite a bit in making food and beverages. Is probably the time I use that, but I don't really titrate them per se. So, but that's a different topic. Sorry if I'm going off topic there. And this is a lab class. Surprise, hence in the name. For this, you have to enroll or complete Chem 162, that's second semester general chemistry, or consent to the instructor. And here are the learning outcomes for the class. That means when you complete this class, you should have these things mastered. Here are the program outcomes. This is for the Associates in Natural Sciences degree here at Windward Community College. So, what do you need for this class? LabFlow, that's the main thing. We're going to do LabFlow. So Lamaku, that's the bright space, rewritten for University of Hawaii. And LabFlow, we go through the bright space shell. And if you want to use the bright space app, there it is. And here is the rest of the stuff with Lamaku, the learning management system. Note here with the browsers. I've never used Microsoft Edge, so I don't know about that. But there's a problem with Apple Safari. The problem with Safari is that it's got really good security. And if you use Safari, I found out when I was programming this class, I could not. I was having such issues with lab flow, and although my programming has to be a little bit stronger, being the instructor, the issue was because Safari just had so high security, and I just moved to Firefox, and so when I do things in other in things like I can use Safari if I'm just working directly in LabFlow, or Safari if I'm just going into Llamaku. But if I ever have to interface between Llamaku and LabFlow or mastering, if you're taking the ones, although I'm not teaching Chem 162 lecture this semester, I'm teaching 161. But like if I ever have to interface between these two, Safari is a nightmare. I recommend you use Firefox or Chrome. And even then, you have to do things like enable pop-ups and things like that. You don't really need it for LabFlow as much, but for mastering you do. So, but just keep that in mind. And I find a lot of students that have these sort of issues, that's where you see it. And here are other things here. Okay, so how to get an A in this class. So it's a point system. And the vast meat of the class are the lab reports. So 11 lab reports, and they're 100 points each. And then there's the quizzes, but the lab reports, the written lab reports, those are the ones. Written, they're mostly fill in the information. It's not a formal lab report where you have to like put a cover page and all that kind of stuff. I don't have you guys do that at all. And so we have the lab reports is, like I said, most of it, and then the points break down, and then it's the percentage points, and it's a 10-point split for the grades. And I have them do in batches. So and the lab reports I'm going to grade after the batches are due. So intro labs and the first 3 labs due September 23rd. Second batch 4 through 6 due October 21st. Third batch due November 12th. I actually want to do November 11th, but that's a holiday, so I did that there. Last batch due December 10th. December 10th is the last day of classes. And then the exam due the 18th. But the exam, and it's not, so the exam is 50 points, and the labs are 100 points each. So the most important part of the class are the lab reports. And so the quizzes are here and there. But like I said, the lab report's the important thing. And forums, so this is the forums are optional. That's when I send out the information. Well, there's the meet and greet forum at the start of class, and I do hope you go on that one just so I can make sure that you're in the right class, and that and if you want a lab partner, if you guys want a lab partner up, that's great. Fine by me. And you want to work together. So I do hope you're right to the intro forum. And then there's the forums for, every week talking about the stuff that's going on in the world of science, and who doesn't love science. And then here are other parts: academic integrity, very important; artificial intelligence. I'm not sure what you'd use AI for. Like when you do observations, things will be like, the powder was white. You don't need AI. Like, the powder was the color of snow on a clear mountain top, with the sun shining, much like the purity of my soul, white, magnesium oxide. We don't really need artificial intelligence to do something like that. Although AI, they can really write some good things. I guess you could write the forum responses with AI, but it's not graded. So why go through the effort, right? Just say, pink planets are cool. Tell me more about pink planets, kind of thing. That's the forums. So AI, yeah, go ahead and use AI if you want. But there's the policy on it, and this is netiquette for the interactions, and as things become more and more online, and my little sister, she works remotely. She goes in the office every once in a while, and remote working is more and more standardized and popular, and so it's important to learn how to properly behave, and that's what shows you there. Okay, so here are some support services that need help. These are other places you can go. And IT help desk. These are really good folks. Actually, they're really good. They're pretty fast. I did something really dumb, and I got a phishing email, and then my account was blocked, and I felt like a moron. But they were able to help me out, and I got access real back. It was it was a dumb thing. I don't want to talk about that. If you want to hear my stupid story, I'll talk to me later, I guess. Llama Haku, they're okay. They just send you. It's mostly back to IT. These are the heroes, the help desk, and like I said, they're good. They're good things. Basic needs. So if you understand psychology and heard of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, I mean, if you can't get your basic needs, you can't do anything. So, I mean, I see this as a shared thing. I see professors being more of triage. I mean, we look after the students and we help them out. And like if you are not getting your basic needs met, there's no way you can go and do well in school. So I see this as a shared effort. So, of course, you want to do well. I want you to do well, and in life and in general, and of course, this class and big part of that is making sure your basic needs are met. So if you are finding a lack of food, if you're finding a lack of housing, and food is the easiest one to solve that, and housing can be a little bit more difficult. But if you find yourself in this circumstance, let me know. Here's the accommodation statement. LGBTQ+, I am a safe zone advocate, so feel free to talk to me about these issues. One of the things, though, is I'm a responsible person by Title IX, and that makes me a mandatory reporter. Later on, we'll go through Title IX. I'll show what that is. So keep me in mind for this, and just in general, I will help you if you are not in the LGBTQ+ community. I mean, me personally, I'm not. I'm a cisgender male, but I'm more than an ally, and I'm an advocate. So if you have an issue outside of, in general, just come to me if you have some stuff that's extracurricular that you need help with that. Here's mental health counseling. Anxiety and depression on the rise, especially anxiety, and that's been that way since maybe the pandemic or before. And if you're having crippling mental health crisis, it goes back to like the basic needs. I mean, although this is higher on the pyramid in the hierarchy of needs, but if you are dealing with crippling mental health issues, you cannot go on and do as well as you want. So, and the person to help is Desiree. She's amazing. I've never used her services, but she's a very kind person, knowing her personality, and you'll see her again with Title IX. And in the bottom, I'll show you the information there. But if you're having some mental health crises, and the other thing, I won't know about this. So Desiree and just in general, there's confidentiality. So they can't tell me anything by privacy laws. And if you tell me, I can know, but it's not like if you tell Desiree something, like, well, why didn't you know? Didn't Desiree tell you? I'm like, no, she won't tell me. So, and student conduct code here. There's no in trio. Here we go, Title IX. I mentioned that before. Desiree here is the mental health counselor. Here we go. I'm a mandatory reporter for any incident of sex discrimination or gender-based violence to the campus. So if something happens and you tell me, I have to tell. I have to tell right here to Mikey. And let's say that you had an issue, and now that you know that I'm a responsible person, as determined by federal law, so no one can say I'm irresponsible, because that is not true. By Title IX, I am a responsible person. So, and you realize I cannot, Mike Ferguson is so responsible, I can't tell him these things. Then you can either tell me I want to talk to someone not as responsible as you. I'm going to push you towards Desiree. Desiree, and this is how you say her name, is Desiree. She is a confidential advocate, which means she is not a mandatory reporter. So you can go and talk to her, and she can strategize with you, and then you can choose whether or not you can bring that forward. Whereas if you tell me, I have to tell. So it's like, whatever you tell someone, a person tells the whole village. For me, though, I wouldn't tell the village. I would just tell Mikey. So, but keep that in mind for Title IX and UH alerts. So these are here. I'm on them, and it's interesting. I get all sorts of fun things. The power is out on West Oahu campus. I don't know why I know about that, because I've been to the West Oahu campus, a beautiful campus, but I don't really need to know there. I need to know about that, but I guess maybe I have a higher level because I'm faculty, but I see things about wildfires, about flooding, about storms, about power outages, that kind of thing. Or maybe if you're in Kailua and the power goes out at Leeward, you're like, oh, that's tough for Leeward, kind of thing. But then maybe I'll lose my power next. Who knows? So it's up to you. I like it because it kind of keeps me in the loop for things. I'll also tell you things like when the campus is closed for like hurricanes or something like that. That if there's bad weather, and if you have any questions, like, oh, campus is closed today because of something going on. So, but hopefully you understand what's going on in this course a little bit more. The main point of this is probably the points and the point breakdown for the grades is probably what the students are most interested in. Like I said, point-based system, that's probably the most important thing. Another thing is how to get a hold of me. And if you have any questions, let me know. Welcome to the class, and I hope you have a nice rest of the day. Aloha for now.